The following projects have received gold awards.
For excellence in the category of studies, research, and consulting engineering services.
REV for New York City Office of Housing Recovery Operations, and the client is New York City Mayor's Office of Housing Recovery Operations, Federal Emergency Management Agency.
CRA Infrastructure and Engineering for Phosphorus TMDL success story for Onondaga Lake. And the client is Onondaga County Department of Water Environment Protection.
MRB Group Engineering, Architecture, and Surveying for SmartGov Strategic Municipal Initiatives. And the client is MRB Group Engineering, Architecture, and Surveying.
The RBA Group for A Greenway Grows in Brooklyn, Brooklyn Waterfront Greenway. And the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
For excellence in the category of Building Technology Systems,
REV for Judd Foundation, 101 Spring Street. And the client is Judd Foundation.
CNS Companies for OCC Academic 2. And the client is Onondaga Community College.
Jaros Baum and Bowles for 4 World Trade Center. And the client is Silverstein Properties.
Joseph R. Loring and Associates for NYU School of Continuing and Professional Studies. And the client is New York University.
Pathfinder Engineers and Architects for SUNY Geneseo Monroe Hall renovation. And the client is SUNY Geneseo.
For excellence in the category of Structural Systems, AECOM for Cooper Avenue Wall Rehabilitation. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
REV for 250 West 55th Street. And the client is Boston Properties.
HACS Engineers, Architects, and Land Surveyors for St. George Ferry Terminal Ramps Rehabilitation. And the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
Hardesty and Hanover for Niantic River Railroad Bridge. And the client is Amtrak.
Muser Rutledge Consulting Engineers for Foundations for 51 Astor Place. And the client is Edward J. Minskoff Equities Incorporated.
Wendell for Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino Steel Reuse. And the client is Seneca Gaming Corporation.
For excellence in the category of Environmental, B. Thayer Associates for LIE CIP Southwest Quadrant Restoration. And the client is New York State Department of Transportation, Region 11.
For excellence in the category of Waste and Stormwater, Gibbons, Esposito, and Boyce Engineers for reconstruction of Pelham Parkway. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
MRB Group Engineering, Architecture, and Surveying for Village of Belmont Wastewater Treatment Plant. And the client is Village of Belmont.
For excellence in the category of Water Resources, H2M Architects and Engineers for wellhead treatment for iron removal at plants 28 and 30. And the client is Water Authority of Western Nassau County.
For excellence in the category of Transportation,
CNS Companies for Syracuse Hancock International Airport Passenger Terminal Security and Access Improvement Project. And the client is City of Syracuse.
HACS GEB High-Rise Joint Venture for Northern State Parkway, Route 110 Interchange. And the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
Hardesty and Hanover for Bruckner Expressway Bridges over Amtrak. And the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
Lou Engineers for West Street Bridge over Cattaraugus Creek. And the client is Wyoming County Highway Department.
Sam Schwartz Engineering for Liberty State Park Circulator. And the client is City of Jersey City in collaboration with North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority.
Sam Schwartz Engineering for 2nd Avenue Subway Community Information Center. And the client is MTA.
VHB Engineering, Surveying and Landscape Architecture for Larkfield Road Traffic Signal System. And the client is Town of Huntington.
WSP USA Corp. for I-287 Cross Westchester Expressway, Exit 8E. And the client is New York State Department of Transportation.
Wendell for Fort Wayne CityLink Intermodal Transfer Center. And the client is Fort Wayne Public Transportation Corporation CityLink.
For excellence in the category of special projects,
Conchesi Engineering for Superstorm Sandy Disaster Recovery, UDR, Wall Street and Hanover Square. And the client is UDR.
Erdman Anthony for Three Sisters and Luna Island Restoration Project. And the client is New York State Office of Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation.
Passero Associates for Erie Harbor. And the client is Conifer Realty.
Robert Silman Associates for Bushwick Inlet Park. And the client is New York City Department of Parks and Recreation.
For excellence in the category of energy, Conchesi Engineering for Columbus Square Energy Metering System. And the client is UDR. The following projects have received Platinum Awards. For excellence in the category of studies, research, and consulting engineering services.
ARUP for the Low Line. And the client is Underground Development Foundation.
High-Rise Engineering for Hurricane Sandy on the front lines. And the client is United Technical Consultants.
Langen Engineering, Environmental Surveying and Landscape Architecture for Barclay Center Seismic Study. And the client is Forest City Ratner Companies.
Sam Schwartz Engineering for Spring Garden Street Greenway Master Plan. And the client is Pennsylvania Environmental Council.
VHB Engineering, Surveying and Landscape Architecture for New York City BRT Study Traffic Analysis. And the client is MTA New York City Transit.
For excellence in the category of building technology systems. LeroHacks Joint Venture for 121st Police Precinct. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
IBC Engineering for WCNY Foundation Incorporated, new headquarters. And the client is WCNY Foundation.
Passero Associates for Bridge Square Building. And the client is Bridge Square LLC.
Robert Silman Associates for Columbia University Campbell Sports Center. And the client is Columbia University. For excellence in the category of structural systems,
CH2M Hill for Global Container Terminal Berth Extension. And the client is Global Terminal and Container Services and Weeks Marine.
D. Simone Consulting Engineers for Regent Emirates Pearl Hotel. And the client is Emirates Pearl for Development and Investment LLC, EPDI.
D. Simone Consulting Engineers for University Center, the New School. And the client is the New School.
HNTB New York Engineering for Squibb Park Bridge. And the client is Brooklyn Bridge Park.
Thornton Tomasetti for Brookfield Place Entry Pavilion. And the client is Brookfield Properties.
Weidlinger Associates for Walt Whitman Bridge Floating Deck. And the client is Delaware River Port Authority.
For excellence in the category of surveying and mapping technology.
Bergman Associates for Niagara Falls State Park Utility GIS Survey Mapping. And the client is New York State Office of Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation.
For excellence in the category of environmental, Jaros Baum and Bowles. For 55 Water Street, Post-Sandy Flood Remediation Restoration. And the client is New Water Street Corporation.
For excellence in the category of waste and stormwater,
CRA Infrastructure and Engineering. For Parker Fry's Interceptor Project Phase 1. And the client is Town of Tonawanda.
Gannett Fleming Engineers for Grass Island Wastewater Treatment Plant RAS, WAS, and secondary effluent pump improvements. And the client is Town of Greenwich Department of Public Works.
For excellence in the category of water resources,
H2M Architects and Engineers for wellhead treatment for nitrate and VOC removal at plant number 6.
for excellence in the category of transportation, AECOM for Shore Belt Parkway Bridge over Fresh Creek Basin, and the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
Barton and LaJudas for Beach Road reconstruction, and the client is Warren County.
Greenman Peterson for safety and mobility improvements to New York 347, and the client is New York State Department of Transportation.
Hacks Engineers, Architects, and Land Surveyors for Interstate 287, Exit 8 Interchange Reconstruction, and the client is New York State Department of Transportation, Region 8.
Hardesty and Hanover for Route 1 and 9T over St. Paul's Viaduct, and the client is New Jersey Department of Transportation.
Parsons Brinkerhoff for Accelerated Bridge Program, Phase 1B Design Build, and the client is New York State Department of Transportation.
The RBA Group for Walk NYC, and the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
URS Corporation for rehabilitation of St. George Ferry Terminal ramps, and the client is New York City Department of Transportation.
For excellence in the category of special projects, ARUP for Hunters Point South, and the client is New York City Economic Development Corporation.
The RBA Group for Bronx River Greenway Starlight Park, and the client is New York State Department of Transportation, Region 11.
STV Group for Spring Creek Educational Campus, and the client is New York City School Construction Authority.
For excellence in the category of energy, B. Thayer Associates for Kennedy Park Energy Reduction Program, and the client is Incorporated Village of Hempstead.
For excellence in the category of industrial and manufacturing processes and facilities,
CNS Companies for Special Metals Furnace, and the client is Special Metals Corporation.
ACEC New York, leaders in the business of engineering.